All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Here we are, game number 2 now of this best of 3 series. And as you can see, the Brestomans up 1-0 against Team Empire here in this best of 3. So again, we do got the ticketed match this time, so that'll help out a bit. CPK, joined by Tsunami here, tuning into the CIS qualifying coverage of the StarLadder I-League Season number 4 Invitational. This being the very first match of the qualifiers. Got 8 teams duking it out for that one spot. And yeah, Brestomans, very impressive performance. I'm not surprised to see them first pick a Sand King either. Got to say that.
But now I don't know who to credit it to. Like, who's Mangex now?
Good point.
Actually, they had their last hero. Oh, I get it. It's last hero. Picking the first hero. Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, there you go. Sure, we'll go with that. They also got Puck, another pretty versatile hero for an early pick, so getting a couple of those off the bat. Ancient Apparition, Nyx Assassin.
10 seconds
from
remaining.
Team Empire, though.
Picking Puck into a Nyx Assassin is a little weird. Nyx Assassin's often considered a counter to Puck since you can basically guarantee that Puck can't easily get out of stuff with getting yourself into carapace into like illusory orb and stuff like that.
Nyx was picked up in response, to be fair.
1, 2.
It was
Puck. Oh yeah,
you're right.
My bad. Yeah. So well, then there you go.
So the other way,
played by Team Empire.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
Empire makes a smart decision there. Is what you're saying. So good from them.
5 seconds.
How about these initial bans, by the way? There's one that really, the Shadow Demon has been I've noticed that personally, just playing a bit of TMM, recent patch, of course, and I've picked a fair amount of Shadow Demon because I kind of realize, as a lot of these teams are now, that this hero is strong right now. It feels like when it comes to just harassing, when it comes to even being useful just every stage of the game as a support, especially. Hell, we saw it even yesterday at Pasha playing in the off lane for Virtus Pro.
Yeah,
so.
And to great effect as well. I was kind of predicting that for the most part because Soulcatcher's buff to give you an illusion of whatever target dies under the debuff is a fantastic like early, mid, and late game potential, because like early game, you know, the respawn times aren't that long, but at the same time, an extra unit that can kind of soak stuff up is very effective, especially if you're going up against teams that use a lot of auras. And so that's fantastic. And then late game, if you manage to get the carry killed under Soulcatcher, then you've got like an enemy like Morphling or something like that who builds so much agi traditionally that their illusion will also deal a ton of damage. And so Shadow Demon is, I'm not surprised that he's getting picked up a lot. I was very surprised to see Pasha play it in that Summit game that you mentioned, but he's been playing a lot of unconventional stuff and doing it fantastically, like that offlane Morphling that he's been running time and time again, which I tried running myself after I saw him, and it is not as easy as he makes it look.
Isn't that the greatest? You're like, oh, this pro player did it who's played thousands of hours and at top tier level. Maybe I can do it too. Oh, wait, it doesn't work that way. Yeah. It's amazing sometimes how the realization kicks in. But we got some more, the final ban even going to be happening here before the picks. You got a Drow ban from Empire, so that's one of those, like, just in case. Let's not let them get the Drow cheese on us type of ban. They're putting a lot of thought into this, well, 5th one, not the final one, but the 5th ban before.
Yeah, you got to think about who you want to target right now. They already picked up their Sand King, which if I were Empire, I wouldn't have banned Sand King, but Sand King would have definitely gone into my second phase if Brestomans didn't pick it up already. So now it looks like they're interested in targeting the 1 position. They've already banned out Tiny. They banned out Drow Ranger. Now they're going to ban out Dusa, which I guess is a 1 and 2 ban. But I guess PO65, who was playing Reflection, or who was tagged as Reflection in Game 1, I'm going to guess that he was the Gyrocopter in Game 1. Or actually, let me look at their thing again. Paladin Timos is listed as their roster. And I see names on everyone else. So I'm going to guess that Palantimos is being stood in by PO65, who was Reflection in Game 1.
It does say stand-in, to be fair, on the team name here as well, so I guess it is, yeah. A ringer of sorts. Interest of both teams, actually. We're on the ringer here in this series, apparently. But, yeah, he played a solid Gyrocopter, no doubt, in that first game. So the ban eventually being the Medusa, and again, that's kind of one of those very small applause, at least for myself. A hero that, frankly, is just not the most entertaining to watch. So
I like how I can hear I can hear that you are at a standing desk.
Oh yeah.
The way that you're like, I can hear your mannerisms, and I can tell that you're at a standing desk. How is that going for you?
It's honestly it's pretty good. Like I honestly wouldn't have expected to do it for casting and stuff when I first got it like a couple months ago, but I've just gotten so used to it, man. And it's for health reasons, it's just
10
good. It's
seconds
obviously better than
remaining.
just sitting, on the long sessions with streaming or casting, whatever. So
5
I'll go in
seconds
between
remaining.
sitting and standing. But yeah, no, I've been standing here. I move a lot more. I noticed that.
Yeah, no, that's what I can tell. Like you were like tapping the desk, and like that, it felt like you were at a LAN or something.
Got to get that feel going, Silencer. Third pick though for Brestomans. Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know how they're gonna play it though, because you've already got. It's probably gonna be some sort of support position. I'm gonna guess the 4. Silencer as a dual mid
Radiant
has
team
been
pick.
somewhat popular. Not so much this patch right now, but it was popular previously in 7.06ish. But it kind of fell off. But I'm sure that Brestomans, they ran the dual mid with the Clockwork in game 1 and didn't do that well. But Silencer is probably a more
10
intimidating hero than a
seconds
Clockwork.
remaining.
Beastmaster, another one that's been
5
stepping up
seconds
quite a bit,
remaining.
especially with that new level 4 Call of the Wild. That is
Empire's
always
turn
entertaining to see which
prepare.
neutral creep he ends up getting. But solid one for Gostic to be playing here. I feel like I want to say too, it's one that he's known for playing a fair amount. So not surprised to see it. Vengeful Spirit, the 4th pick from Brestomans. Okay, so that's you would lean
Not really
towards like
seeing-
core
10
Vengeful
seconds
at this
remaining.
point.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, but I'm still not seeing a very clear strategy
5
emerging from
seconds
Brestomans so
remaining.
far. Because, like, you've got a fair amount of team fight with Epicenter, Dream Coil, and Global Silence, but I don't really know if Vengeful Spirit's the best hero to, like, put damage into that. And Gyrocopter wasn't banned, so I'm a little bit surprised that they don't go back for it, but I don't really see the benefit of the minus armor that much either, or the physical damage amp.
Radiant
So,
team
yeah, the
back.
VS is a little bit of a weird pick for me.
Stands ready.
They pick Sven as their 4th pick, does Team Empire. So again, coming down to the same spot of both teams likely going to finish off with a mid option of sorts. Yeah, Venge 4th pick.
10
The armor,
seconds
especially if it's
remaining.
more of a core Vengeful, could be good. Like, yeah, that War Cry
5
happening
seconds
here. But
remaining.
there is a fair amount of magic damage, though, with that said. So it's not like the War Cry is going to be the stopper necessarily as far as protecting the team.
Yeah, and yet again, Empire have a pretty strong push again. Sven with the cleave. Ancient Apparition is going to have nothing better to do than just stack Ancients and other camps for the Sven, and so he's going to get some early item, be it Mask of Madness or probably Mask of Madness. I rarely see anything else on carries these days, but yeah, once he teams up with Beastmaster, which I am going to guess that Ghostic is probably going to put a lot of levels into Inner Beast, but I've seen a lot of success with Wild Axis as well, because in lane it's incredibly intimidating, because if you're able to get like 2 casts off on the enemy 1 position, then they basically have to back off like a sticky napalm pretty much, because the damage amp is so much from those axes. So it's possible that he may go for it, but if he's more interested in
10
going for
seconds
push,
remaining.
then it's going to be Inner Beast.
Yeah, that with the Call of the Wild, of
5
course. So.
seconds remaining.
Pretty good synergy. That early Necronomicon, especially, all of a sudden you could just be taking out tier 1, tier 2 towers pretty easily by yourself. So, yeah, definitely a popular build on the hero. The final ban from Brestomans is going to be the Viper. Interesting. Viper definitely could have been some. Hell, I would think
Empire's
Viper would have
turn
been
to
pretty
pick.
good for Brestomans, to be honest. Especially against this Sven, kite factor. But
Yeah.
they take it away. It's an option to deal with. Shadow Fiend ban from Empire. So
Yeah, more minus armor and someone who could synergize with the damage amp of
10
VS.
seconds remaining.
If you're Empire, I feel like you want a mid who naturally builds
5
BKB to deal with this
seconds
global
remaining.
silence from Silencer. Because
Radiant
Sven is obviously a
team
natural
pick.
BKB builder.
Mirana.
Mirana can transition into it, and she's a Manta builder, so that's also perfectly fine. As we saw in Game 1 when Brestomans picked it, the Mana Break talent plus Manta style, and this time Silent may go for a Diffusal Blade on top of it, which I think would be pretty good, so I think that
10
Mirana's a perfectly
seconds
fine pick,
remaining.
and again, another hero who is pretty good with push with Starstorm.
I
5
assume it's going to
remaining.
be FN playing it, and we talked about it last
Oh,
game.
yeah, sorry, my bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
fine.
going to be on the Sven most likely, but FN is this is when I think FN, I think Mirana is really one of the first heroes that comes to mind. So
Yeah.
stressed how well he plays it, so probably going to be it here, and yeah, but it's the same story. You know, Diffusal on top of that mana breakdown could be a lot of damage to take advantage of. So, Brestomans, they need to think now of their final pick, and
Dragon Knight.
You may now select
just
your
about to
heroes.
suggest that, not going to lie. But Dragon Knight coming out. Ooh,
It was a very disconnected draft from Brestomans. Like, you don't your initiator with Sand King and Puck have fantastic team fight potential as well as Silencer, Global Silence. DK is kind of mediocre when it comes to team fight. Like, obviously, Breathe Fire's damage reduction is fantastic, but he will have troubles getting kited this game because you've got to deal with Cold Feet, Impale, Carapace, Roar, Arrow, Stormhammer. There's so many stuns on the side of Empire. And so, you know, you go for an early BKB as DK, but then your BKB will go down to 5 seconds as the game progresses, and then you're super vulnerable, and Roar will still go through it at all stages of the game. Ice Blast will still go through it at all stages of the game, cutting down all that potential from your Dragon's Blood regen. And so I'm not a huge fan of this DK. Like, I would like it if there was a more well-rounded push lineup. Like, that's when I like seeing DK most. Is like,
Yeah.
you've got heroes that can stand behind the DK very well and buff up his push, like something like Beastmaster and something like that. But I don't know. This game, I'm definitely preferring Empire's draft.
I mean, yeah, DK, one of the first things that comes to mind for me is he's just kind of this beefy, I'm going to push tower kind of hero, obviously with that Elder Dragon form, so definitely understand what you're suggesting there. And the idea of the draft that the Brestomans has as a whole doesn't necessarily fit that theme, but we'll see how they make it work. Game number 2 now. Again, they're the ones that are up 1-0, have that game to give, you could suggest, if anything, which would then lead us into a game 3, of course, but this would be quite the upset, once again, if they're able to pull through. But unfortunately, like really all these qualifiers, not really unfortunate, I guess, but there is only one spot on the line. So, you know, this is just the beginning of a journey here in this single elimination
Journey
event.
with Spirit, Empire, Vega, Gambit, M19, and then a couple of lesser-known team hunkies from Savad, Namiga Gaming, and now Brestomans.
Yeah, I noticed that Namiga Gaming, they're actually another team from Belarus, actually, joining the Brestomans here. So Belarus representing, proud in this in these qualifiers, the 2 open qualifier teams, actually, that had to get to this point. So, yeah, we didn't even mention that, but Brestomans, one of the 2 open qualifier teams that got into the CIS qualifiers, and they were granted with the placement match against Empire. But, again, definitely up to the challenge and played very well. Like, really want to stress that. You know, sometimes we'll suggest, okay, they ran some cheese drag, got a little bit lucky, expected Empire to bounce. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, Brestomans, if they play like they did in that first game, especially after that first Roshan kill, this is going to be a tough team to beat. So, right now, today at least, Brestomans honestly looking like the better team after that first game. Although the laning phase, when you really think back to that game 1, laning phase was essentially dominated by Empire.
Yeah,
so
it was.
gotta keep that in mind too. All right, into the laning phase we go for our game 2 now.
Oh, wait. So now Kilomancer at the 4 positions on the Sand King. And so last time, I'm assuming it was last hero, but whatever the case, like, I'm pretty sure that it's a different player on the Sand King now.
Yes, I assume so, yeah, because, yeah, last year their offlane player, I suggested on Wikipedia, so. But, yeah, of course, running the 4 position Sand King here, and
30 seconds
instead the
to battle.
offlane puck. I mean, we've seen the support puck before, no doubt, but perhaps a little more potential in that offlane, getting that blink dagger sooner, of course, as a result. So that's a counter ward right away from Empire.
And
All
giving
right.
it to the carry. Maposhka knows where his bread is buttered and spend already easy 100 gold.
That feels good, especially in the early game. It's like, yep,
The
I'll
battle
take it.
begins.
He's going to get that Quelling Blade even sooner. And Puck went for straight Null Talisman, so it's going to be great. But I imagine that last hero is going to have to just deal with Ancient Apparition, and they're just going to be attacking each other constantly.
Blocking going on from Nyx Assassin for Mirana. Same thing on the other side. Sand King doing it for Dragon Knight.
I don't really know if Sand King's going to be... Oh, okay, actually, Silencer's not going... Wait, where is... Silencer's just going to go support bot lane. Okay. I don't know if Sand King should be sticking around mid, and it looks like he's not.
Yeah, he's going to be heading towards the top lane. Going to make it an aggressive dual lane of sorts, him and the Puck. As Puck, meanwhile, taking plenty of damage. from that Stormhammer connecting, but jaunts away. He'll be fine for now, and now with Sand King rotating him, Poshka's the one that has to be a little bit careful, actually. Yep, he'll cut through the trees, and he'll be fine. Could have been a little dangerous, though.
You just go for that kill attempt at level 1 just to see what Puck has skilled up. If Puck doesn't have the Illusory Orb, then it's almost certainly a kill.
Happen to have it there, though. Perhaps sitting on the point, wasn't necessarily paying attention to that, but of course a lot of players will do that in the early laning phase. So it's going to be a true 1-versus-1 matchup here in the middle lane, at least for now. Dragonite versus Mirana.
For now.
As I say that, Nyx Assassin is rotating over, so.
As well as Silencer.
Yeah, this could get interesting. Silencer making his way too, and the CCM, yeah.
DK is not an easy target to go on,
No.
although he is pretty deep in the river.
Guessing he has Dragon Blood. Yeah, level 1 Dragon Blood, of course. Making that more difficult.
Wow.
He
is in a tough spot here.
He's in an awkward spot, and there's the arrow, and that's a kill.
Boy.
That should be a first blood at least. Man, that armor kicking in, but not enough. And so he goes down. Meanwhile, that was another kill actually at the top lane. Sand can go down, and Puck is going to fall to Miposhka. The chilling touch dealing plenty of damage between them. All right, 3-0 start for Empire.
And poor Sohi, it was a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
He didn't want to walk into a predictable path into the Impale, but he spent so much time walking back and forth to juke the Impale that he took like 7 right clicks from FN's Mirana, and so eventually, you know, one way or another you're going to go down, and he committed into the river, and it was curtains after that, and so he goes down. And then top lane, well, I have no idea how that happened. Both a Puck and a Sand King go down to a Sven and an Ancient Apparition, but it happened.
Yeah, I would have to think that was the Sand King and Puck maybe playing a bit aggressive, thinking that they had to kill
initiating
themselves.
and getting punished, yeah.
A little too deep, perhaps. Puck, meanwhile, going to steal a neutral creep out to the side, but Nyx Assassin's here. If you're Brestomans, you got to be careful about that. Mana burn initially, Waning Rift silence, but no Illusory Orb. They know this because he just used it on the farm, and he's dead. Once again, Silent picking up the kill yet again on Sven.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Empire.
Whenever you see that Illusory Orb go out, all of a sudden Puck becomes so much more vulnerable. You know, Killomancer, not going to bother with a Burrow Strike, he's just going to TP out.
Yeah. Mirana, 12-2 against a Dragonite. That's 15-1 actually. So, unlike last game, this is not a overwhelming start in favor of FN. In fact, Dragonite actually has the early lead. Even getting first blooded, he's still managing better CS. Is that surprising?
He managed to get a Calling Blade, and so he has like significantly. Now the damage is kind of even. He still has more damage for creeps than a Mirana, since Calling Blade gives 24 damage, so he's hitting quite hard. But I imagine, as you can see from the net worth, that Mirana still has like a solid 300 gold lead, thanks to that first blood gold.
Nyx and Sand King saying hello to one another, doing the friendly pat each other on the back a couple of times, and then they'll fall back from each other.
Only to reunite. Brother.
Hey, Bounty Rune, 4 minutes. Here we go. Killomancer will pick it up, though. Good timing with the Burrow Strike.
Oh, man. This bounty, this regen rune up top. So he backs off. And actually, FN reveals that he has a ward, but it's about to time out anyway.
Sand King running over. He's going to be able to pick it up, actually. Oh, maybe. No, he's not even going to go for it. He's like, I'm full life, full man. I don't need it. It's not the most contested rune, to be fair. Yeah, Nyx will throw up the stun. He's like, all right, make use of it, at least. Use some mana. Pick up the regen.
Maybe get a mana burn on mid. Actually, it's a 20-second cooldown, so he's probably not.
He'll pick it up, though. If that was like a haste rune or an invis even, maybe a different story.
Yeah.
Not the most contested there this early on. Bottom lane, Vengeful Spirit's being ran at by Beastmaster. Again, Vengeful's by himself now. Although he is 27-17. Holy crap, he is denying like a freaking machine. Bottom lane. Middle lane, FN goes down. Caught that as it was basically happening right there. The Dragon Tail hits level 1 here as it gets level 5 at least, and uses that with the Burrow Strike to get the kill.
Tower is under attack.
What?
And that will stop lane. Puck going down again.
Yeah, with Burrow Strike initiation, the Killomancer has Windlace plus the boots, and so he has a big, like normally at level 1 and 2 Burrow Strike, your range is not good enough to catch a Mirana by surprise, but when you have that much move speed, you get pretty good setup, and then combining it with a Dragon's Tail, which is a solid 2.5-second stun on top of that, it was well played by Brestomans.
Top lane, they would love a kill on Sven. He's worth quite a bit right now. is silent.
Radiant are
Currently
I think it's
2-0-2.
possible. He has God Strength now. There's no way you can get this.
Is he going to pop the God Strength for this? I mean, we'll see. No, it's not even. He's like, nah. Warcry's enough. We're good. Backs off. 3-man gank unsuccessful for Brestomans. So a lot of time spent, not getting a whole lot out of it. That's unfortunate. But I want to go back to this Vengeful, though, real quickly, man. Look at that CS. 34 and 22. He's just having a free farm down here. Bottom. What is that going to mean for Brestomans? Is Vengeful kind of the scary hero that gets us an early start like this? Is he going to really excel, you think?
I don't think it's. I mean, it's definitely not great, but it's not like PO65 is going to be able to convert that into like a lot of early intimidation because, well, if he gets rotated on, that definitely won't happen. Because now I can't believe Silent went for this rotation, but they go for it and they're going to push with it now. Is now 1 point in Inner Beast, so they're not going to be able to do too much. Actually, the rest of Empire moves away.
Who would expect the early Sven gank?
Right.
I sure would.
He was like, no, let me show you how you're supposed to gank the one position. This is how you do it. It's now in the mid lane.
FN, bottle charges. He's got those to use. He doesn't, though. He goes down in the end. Too much damage to work through.
Yeah,
Nice
I
kill
think
coming
Curse
out.
was going to cancel it regardless.
Yeah. Silencer will manage to live as well. Ancient Apparition trying to at least get a turn kill, but not enough damage. So, again, good gank from Brestomans this time in the middle lane. As they do make the kill happen on Mirana. So FN, he's not necessarily taking off as you would like to usually, but Sven's taking care of that for him. Silence having a
Top
very good
lane,
time.
Ghost Stick. It's pincered in. These one positions are very active. This is the one thing of having a early farm Vengeful Spirit benefit. Is it's not so much like grouping up and doing stuff like that, but if you see even like a hint of a kill possibility, then swap can, I mean, which they didn't even use for that fight, but like easily you can swap into like a Silence from Puck or a Dream Coil, and even the Sven starts looking pretty vulnerable with that kind of early presence from the Vengeful Spirit.
Yeah, they're going to transition into a nice tower push now. He doesn't have Vengeance Aura just yet, so it's not necessarily
Oh, wow, you're
assisting.
right. Damn, I can't believe he had that high CS with no Vengeance Aura.
Yeah, just maxing out Magic Missile, which is great for battling, and the idea that he's had this good a CS, it almost makes it worth it, right? Like, because yeah, you would usually get Vengeful Aura to help with your last hitting, if anything.
Yeah, Beastmaster, Beastmaster is not an easy hero to 1v1 against because you have to attack 2 units, the boar and the hero itself, and so I'm actually surprised that PO65 did so well, but they're doing well. But Silent is also pushing a tier 1 of his own, but it's just 1 hero versus the 2 heroes of the Brestomans tier 1 push, so he's not going to get it.
Yeah, Puck making a point to TP in vision as well of Sven and be like, yeah, we're coming for you. We're coming for you. Although it's just Puck as we see. And he does not have the most to work with right now. He does have a Dream Coil. No TP's coming in just yet, though.
Their Spirit's coming in. Dream Coil is used.
And a couple more stuns to follow it up. The swap into a Magic Missile. The Warcry, that's not nearly enough. Very good execution there. The Dream Coil was just a stall for the TPs. And they get it as a result. So well played. Ancient Dragon Form, Elder Dragon Form even from Dragon Knight middle lane, going for the middle tower kill. And now he's going to run after Mirana. Got to be careful about that, but they do get the tower kill. But at what cost now? Dragon Knight takes the Primal Roar on top of the arrow. And he is damn tanky, but it finally goes down. Silencer, Nyx Assassin trying to follow up for him, but a little too slippery. So, but he got the middle tower kill.
He did get the middle tower kill, and that's why he went so deep. He really did not want FN to get the deny, and may have gone and compromised a little bit too much position in the interest of doing that and gets punished for it, but they take down the mid-tier 1 regardless. And he had an Arcane Rune whenever he activated Dragon Form, so it's going to be up in 15 seconds whenever he respawns.
Yeah,
so I can go for a bot push, yeah, and he goes straight bot.
That's a really good rune to have for a hero like him. Death Prophet comes to mind as well. You know, those early big abilities that you push an objective with. Getting that Arcane
Honestly,
rune
like, DK Bottle is very underrated because, swap bot lane into a Dragon's Tail, but he's so tanky.
Level 3 Warcry, but it might not be enough. The Elder Dragon Form. Yes, he gets away. Oh, the curse is up. Gonna get a vision of the Wave of Terror. Wave of Terror. There you go.
Oh, it is gonna be enough.
It is enough. Yeah, level 3, level 2 Wave of Terror.
He was silenced from the Mask of Madness, so
you're right.
It wasn't Silencer's silence, it was his own silence.
Awkward. Trying to help him run away right there. Bottom tower also going to be pushed. Similar to last game, although not as much. I mean, laning phase went okay for Empire, but all of a sudden objectives starting to be worked by Brestomans here. and taking advantage of the Dragon Knight, and honestly, Vengeful Spirit has proven to be a really good pick at this point.
Yeah, and PO65 is playing it perfectly. He's being so active around the map. This is what I like to see from the Vengeful Spirit, who gets such a heavy advantage. You don't want to just continue farming because you're not that hero. Now Global Silence stops any Beastmaster initiation on the Vengeful Spirit into a swap.
That damage, man. Level 4 Magic Missile, although Ice Blast, you see the Satyr here as well, will get the turn kill as a result of the health being so low.
And
so
now Silencer dying to a double damage rune from the Mirana on the side.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, they got the Beastmaster, but yeah, definitely good news for Empire, especially for FN. You know, he's been having a so-so game so far, and that's got to feel good, at least getting a kill. And now he's going to TP bottom lane.
Bot lane. He has mana for an impale if they want to go for it. Killmancer just goes straight for. Oh!
How did that arrow
miss?
That.
It's all good. He still got the kill.
I mean,
you're just covering all your options. You know, if he went straight for the burrow strike, it was a hard read on where the burrow strike would have been.
Okay,
if he doesn't, you got the DD right. That's what it is. All right? Don't doubt it.
No, it just honestly, it looked like it was going to hit. That's what I'm just so surprised about.
It's always weird whenever enemies are like on, like, because sometimes the 3D is kind of difficult to process, and so like there's that ridge near the river that's kind of like difficult. I don't know. Whatever the case, they get the kill.
Ancient stack taken out. I believe that was a triple stack by Sven, meanwhile, and that's pretty much routine there. And he's going the Saint Yasha. Now, obviously, I was tuning into the Summit event this last weekend here up to yesterday even. Listening, Melon's brought up a really interesting point, how he personally does not like the SNY build on a hero like Sven. It's just so much gold that you're investing, and you're really just not getting a lot out of it. What is your take, Tsunami? Do you agree or disagree with the man himself?
Yet again, it's Empire favoring mid-game orientation builds. So it's not something like a drum, but it's in the same vein, where you're like, I don't want to have to get a BKB this early, because like I said, if you get a BKB this early, it's going to last for 5 seconds, almost certainly, like very quickly, because he's going to have to use it in every single fight. And there are so many stuns that I said you had to be aware of. The Cold Feet, the Roar, the Impale, the Carapace, the Arrow, the Storm Hammer. So if you get a BKB this early, it'll be great, but it'll lose its efficacy too early on. And your mid-game options are Drum or Echo Saber or Saint Yasha. And I guess Armlet, as now we get a little bit of initiation onto the Nyx Assassin.
Spiked Carapace. Yeah, the Blink, he got hit by the Frostbitten, but he'll be fine. That Spiked Carapace saving the day, though, for Nyx Assassin, just barely.
Yeah, he still almost ended up dying to the curse. Yeah, so it's dealer's choice. I don't really have an issue with the Saint Yasha for a hero like Sven, mainly because anything that provides move speed is something I'm okay with, and anything that, you know, with the MAME for the kite is also great. So it's not that bad. Personally, I'm an Echo Saber fan myself, but that's because I often find that I'll have mana issues on Sven. But Silent is not, he doesn't really care about Stormhammer. He only has 1 point in Stormhammer. He only wants it for the chain disable, as now AA is in a little bit too deep. Oh my god, is this actually going to save him? He's going to die to the curse, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's dead to the curse. Oh, no, he's not. Shout out to Wand.
He is
1.5 HP regen.
So managed to survive just barely, just like his brother in Nyx Assassin. That's got to be frustrating if you're Brestomans here a couple of times. As Ancient Apparition.
Are you kidding me? He gets another?
This is the other side.
No, he's dead.
Yeah.
He dead.
Ends up getting the kill because of the health threshold.
No, wait, never mind.
It's a different one, yeah.
AA last time, yeah.
It's apparently both these teams just top tier AA players with the reads. So well played. That's a big kill on Sand King. Yeah, I was also going to mention about Puck here. How about last hero again? We believe he at least was playing the Sand King last game. And similar story. He had a really struggle of a laning phase of sorts. 3 deaths early on for him, but he's already got a blink now. He's actually the highest, or just about the highest net worth on the team. Really much tied with Dragon Knight and up there with the rest of them. Hell of a performance from him, and needing that because he's obviously great at these initiations now.
Yeah,
setting up kills.
See if they'll go for another one. They have Global Silence up on Brestomans, so they can afford to play a little aggressively.
Ancient Apparition's like, no, don't do it.
He wishes he had a tango right now.
Not gonna happen. Ooh, they're going for
they
an early
get themselves. Oh, okay, and so it looks like Sven ended up going for the Echo Saber after all, as opposed to Saint Yasha.
Perhaps, like you were suggesting, feels a little bit weak on the mana side of things, and also it's just great upfront burst, of course.
Yeah. Now initiation. Where's the cancel?
You got the global silence coming out, not going to be canceled. As a result, Sand King, the Dream Coil on top of them. Mirana just dies, effing it into a damn thing other than walk around in circles. It felt like Ice Blast going through. Puts at least the debuff on a couple of heroes, but Dragonite, oh, he's dying out of this God Strength, though. Sven, is he going to survive? No, he's not. Dragonite goes down, but so does Sven in return. Vengeful Spirit, Cold Feet, nice Force Staff will prevent it from proccing right there. However, they lose Ancient Apparition onto the side. Gostic, though, he's still a one-man team. He's ready to fight against this puck. Not enough damage, however, and he will now start to fall back, as it's just him up once again. So they fight at the Roshan area. Yeah, could not cancel the epicenter in the midst of them.
Yeah, Sven was like staring at this Sand King, like channeling it, and there was not a global out yet, and he was just like, no, it's a bluff. There's no way he's gonna go through with this epicenter channel. And he didn't Stormhammer. Stormhammer was definitely off cooldown, but Silent didn't go for it. It's not as catastrophic as a fight as it could have been for Team Empire, but it shouldn't. I don't think FN should have died there. Or I mean, it's not his fault, but I don't think he had to die.
Yeah. Seems like that they had the possible opening to stop that epicenter from going off, but unable to do so. So Killomancer here. That's his Blink Dagger, of course, and a little bit of regen delivered to him on top of that, but he's going to push out the bottom lane. So yeah, the early Roshan attempt, though, is at least going to be stopped. So that's a positive for Empire. And, you know, this is a team, especially with the Elder Dragon form, you know, the Wave of Terror, the Vengeful Aura, Vengeance Aura even, which is level 4 now. From Vengeful Spirit, they could definitely drop Roshan pretty quickly, so getting there in time is key for them. But Necronomicon level 2, by the way, on Beastmaster. I didn't talk about that yet. He almost has level 3, actually.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why Ghostic, like, initially Sven was mainly dealing damage to the DK, but everyone else on Brestomans was getting chipped down, and it was because this Beastmaster was just constantly pouring in damage from all these directions with his neutral creeps and his inner beast aura with all this Necronomicon units. And what talent did he go for? Oh, he went for the XP gain talent, so yeah, Beastmaster is definitely going to be a relevant force moving forward.
Oh yeah.
But they get a free tier 2.
That's middle tier 2 on top of that, you know, great positioning on the map, so that's a very good tower kill for Brestomans earlier on. Only 17.5 minutes into the game, and Puck is topping the net worth, man. I still can't get over that. He's doing a hell of a job.
Last hero. Always coming. I mean, you give this man a Blink Dagger, apparently, and that's when he really turns on his now initiation on the Killomancer. There's the Sacred Arrow connection.
Yeah. Good execution from them. They were patient with that, using that Vendetta to get the vision and find the free kill.
Yeah, so many Sand Kings are... I think one of the biggest differences between pub Sand Kings and professional Sand Kings is the willingness to not go for the Vendetta damage and just go for the Impale positioning that's guaranteed. Because against a Sand King, like, you can't afford... He has instant cast Burrow Strike, instant cast Sandstorm. You can't just sit around and be like, yeah, okay, you know, I want this Vendetta damage.
Oh my gosh. If they actually... Wait, Global Silence used right there.
What?
Whoops. He says whoops.
I see the whoops in the chat.
Oh no.
All right, I'll excuse that, you know?
And I think
if you give yourself a whoops...
Well, this is big because, yeah, I think they just spotted them at the last second with the orb, but they smoked in there. I was watching the vision of the rating. Yeah, they definitely had no clue for the longest time. And the global side, I thought they were going to initiate because I heard it go off, and that just seemed like an unfortunate press of the ability. So if you're Empire, you're like, all right, we'll definitely get in. They end up stealing Roshan.
Well, maybe you can get +2 off of this Ancient Apparition as retribution.
There you go. Positive thoughts. So he's up to 8 now, intelligence. A little bit smarter on top of that, but yeah, that's, I'm guessing, oh no, Sven didn't get it. They give it to Mirana? Yeah. Mirana gets the Aegis here. What do you think about that over Sven?
It's, again, a little bit surprising, but especially since Silent's going for a Blink Dagger, because that means that he's going face first into a fight, so that is actually very weird to me. I don't know why they're giving it to FN. I guess because they want FN to just split push and farm, and like they're not interested in pushing right now, as now Ghostic is getting initiated on and he's dead to rights for sure. Another +2 for the Silencer. Actually, wait, where's the Silencer? Why did he walk away? So bad, you fool! That was free intelligence.
Could have got that much smarter. What are you thinking? Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Shame.
But they get the kill. That's what really matters. Vengeful. Really, again, seeing the presence of it. The Hurricane Pike finished in full on Vengeful Spirit. Talk about the Vengeance Star. Elder Dragon form is also ready to go here.
I wonder if this is a reaction to giving Mirana the Aegis, because like Empire were like, alright, so we can dictate the pace now that we have Aegis, but Brestomans are like, alright, well if you're gonna give it to Mirana, then we're just gonna push, because we can kill her twice gladly. Yeah. Sven is a different issue.
Oh, there is Sven. That issue indeed gets forced after away to this Dragonite. You see Dreamcoil
hero.
hitting
What a
3
player.
heroes. Meanwhile, the Epicenter coming out. Ancient Apparition gonna... No, he's gonna be fine. That was actually Murata going down with the Age. Is gonna be popping it back up. Sand King will die because of that positioning. Last year trying to finish off Nick Assassin, at least the orb on through. He took a lot of damage from Sven, but he manages to survive for now. Dragon Knight, though, on the outskirts, goes out the breathe fire.
Sven.
Sven's in trouble. Sven will go down, actually. Global Silence now coming out very late in the fight, but doing a lot of work with that set. Ancient Apparition will go down, and now Ghostic is here. Very late, but is it a little bit too late? Primal Roar locking down Puck. He wants to at least kill him, but he's tempted. It's a little bit too tempting, perhaps. And he will make his way out of there. Vengeful Spirit, Force Staff, Piranha with the illusions. Too much damage. Could not handle it. So, looks like Brestomans will get forced out ultimately of this fight. And they're going to probably find silence here. Yeah. That's another kill on top. I don't know what to make of that fight, honestly. That was really even, I feel like, in the end, between the two teams.
Even, but you were able to take off an Aegis off of Team Empire.
True.
And again, it was more intended as a farming Aegis from Empire. They just had to turn it into a fighting Aegis unwillingly. But Sven goes down and DK survives. And Vengeful Spirit does go down in exchange, but actually they're pretty similar net worth. Last hero survives, though. I guess that's the most important thing, because he's still consistently remaining the top net worth hero. And he was playing so aggressively in that fight and just barely managed to get out. Because Beastmaster, I guess he used that last few seconds of the Necro Book to go after DK. Puck's Blink Dagger actually wasn't going to be up after Phase Shift ended, but there's no way for Ghostic to know that, so he just abandons the kill attempt, even though last hero had like 10 HP left.
How about the choice from Puck and his item decision? At least for now, looking to go the Axe as a follow-up, so not only a longer Dream Coil, but of course the eventual BKB, perhaps on the Sven especially.
Exactly.
Still going to lock him down, so good item choice, figure.
Yeah, and these days, ever since the changes to Dream Coil, all the damage is inside the break. And so if you're able to force a few heroes there who are just not willing, like if you hover over the Scepter break damage and hold down Alt on Dream Coil, once maxed, it's 797 break damage.
Oh, wow.
And that's just crazy. And so if you force 5 heroes to be like, or not 5 heroes, that's not going to happen. I know last hero was good, but I don't know if he's that good. If you force a few heroes to not want to break, then that means that Sand King gets such an easy epicenter. And oh man, he's inside the Sentry Ward range.
Yep, just seeing that myself. Oh, he gets the face shift off
God.
to the last second. The Global Science helping,
He's
but it's not
blink.
going to be enough. Oh man, the Yules. He's going to survive, isn't
can do
he?
it.
He actually gets away. Last hero is going to manage to somehow survive. Marana wants to finish him off, but they're going to also lose the Beastmaster.
Dream
And now
Coil.
gets the Dream Coil off of Marana. Going to force a kill on FN most likely. There's leap number 2,
One
has
more
so
leap.
one more, gets it off. But last hero is still going in for this kill. Has a Yules coming back up in 4 seconds. Unable to get it off, however. We'll take the spiked Carapace stun. Oh my god, though. This player is just continuing to be more and more impressive as this game goes on. The series,
Like,
even.
I keep seeing his laning phase, and I'm like, there's no way that this hero can do anything. I mean, died duel with a Sand King against that Sven AA combo.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm telling you, this Blink Dagger efficacy is ridiculous. He knows the limits so well on his heroes.
That was also kind of interesting when I saw right there as middle lane. It's just trying to harass him, push him out. TP was canceled by Sun. He was actually over here in this area and from their Ancients, and he was actually going to TP up, but he ended up canceling it and tried to walk in the flank, but couldn't really catch up to anyone as Brestomans was retreating there. So ultimately coming up short as far as the idea at least. But you look at the overall net worth, and again, Brestomans seems like they have some nice momentum going and everything, but Sven and Marana right now are topping the charts, actually, between them two, although Puck is kind of competing for that, as I mentioned.
Last hero. He got a scan off, but he's actually moving kind of aggressively inwards.
Aurora opening. Meanwhile,
They can't
though,
kill him.
Yeah, FN got, I think the idea was that he was going to follow up with an arrow, but he got stunned himself, and so he couldn't do it. So, Prime Aurora wasted. Not the longest cooldown, but...
Yet again, I hope that Brestomans goes for a gem. They didn't go for it in game 1 whenever Tiny had that Shadow Blade, but you've got to deal with Moonlight Shadow, you've got to deal with this Nyx Assassin who walks into a Sentry Ward.
Hey, it's like
That
Puck
was
earlier.
not timed.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Missed that one.
I guess it makes sense. Well, actually, no, it doesn't make sense,
Well played.
because...
Whoa.
Well,
Jeez. This guy does not, he's not afraid to fight. We know this by now. Killimancer finally gets, he's like, all right, got a second chance, get the stun, the swap, and they actually get the kill on Nyx. How many players would do? I feel like that's not a play a lot of people would make. Going that deep, chasing that long.
And he played it well as well. He went into phase shift immediately after dream coiling, and so Nyx Assassin was like, I'll just break it and stun you as well, but he was inside the phase shift, so Carapace didn't proc on him.
Yeah. That was,
Last year I was just like, God damn it, Killimancer, we should have had that. Now I have to go through all this extra trouble to get this Nyx Assassin kill.
They could do more work.
Radiant's top tower.
Corner of the top lane, Ice Blast comes out. The Dragon Knight Vengeful gonna stay behind though and finish off the tower. As Shadow Blade of Gostic, he's gonna be able to stop. Yeah, Primal Roar is ready. They stopped the Dragon Knight. That was very greedy chance there by Dragon Knight trying to TP out in front of them.
Yeah, I think
Global Silence is gonna help a little bit, but maybe delay the inevitable. The swap happens. Vengeful, he's gonna now die, and now Dragon Knight's still in some trouble. They kill Vengeful. But yeah, that was,
arrow.
The arrow misses just barely. He picks up the bounty rune in front of her, but now DK is still going to fall most likely. Maybe we can kill the dudes. No, Miposhka will finish the job. So, yeah, it's one thing for a support Vengeful to be making a play like that, but your core Venge, that was greedy, and they lose 2 as a result.
Oh, Blink? No.
Just not in time. So, both cores dead, and Empire... only about 1,000 net worth lead. It's
last hero is alive.
Yeah, true.
As long as last hero is alive, you are still in the game.
And he's got an axe now.
He has an Aghanim Scepter coming out in the courier. Oh my god. Sven doesn't even have his BKB yet, does he? Oh, he does. 10 seconds.
There you go. Ags is finished. As middle tower does go down though for Empire. So finally, oh jeez, and the bottom tier too. This is we're starting to see Beastmaster really kicking in. That level 3 Necronomicon, Inner Beast maxed out.
Yeah, between that and Miposha has a gem in his stash, the map is going to get a lot more difficult to find vision on for Brestomans, because you're not going to have any observers, and all of your sentries are going to go down also, because Yoku is going to have so much more room to play around with on this next assassin, so...
Vengeful does get the Shadow Blade. And I was wondering, is this a game where Silver Edge makes sense? But really looking at the other team, not a whole lot of what the break would be doing for you here. So, no, it's going to be building a Butterfly now, it looks like. At least that's the early idea. What's next? Yeah, Dragon Knight with the Heaven's Halberd. We didn't really talk much about that, but going the drums, of course, pretty standard stuff. But I think we're pretty early Heaven's Halberd here.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Most of the time, Heaven's Halberd, you'll see it like later on carries, because man, last year I was just toying with the Radiant team.
Going a little bit too much.
Okay, let's see. Yules? No, nicely timed impale from Yoku.
That is not easy. That was a very impressive time.
Yeah, that's tricky.
Because he was definitely spamming that Yules, I'm sure. They catch him.
Yeah, so more often than not, you'll see the Halberd come out later on carries, because evasion increases your EHP based off of how much actual HP you have, and armor as well.
Yeah.
And so most of the time you don't have 2.4k HP like this DK does until, you know, like 35, 40 minutes into the game. But DK kind of naturally gets that, as actually he does not go for his HP talent, which is a little bit surprising, but he needs to deal damage this game. But yeah, so, I mean, DK is just such a naturally tanky hero that the evasion works out pretty well for him, and against the Sven, it's always fantastic. He doesn't have a Blink Dagger, though, so he can't easily get to the Sven to disarm him before his BKB comes out, which is a bit of a problem, but at the minimum, evasion is still value.
Radiant's middle tower
Nyx Assassin picks up the Arcane Rune in front of them and keeps on heading back with this team, has the Vendetta, of course, active, so Brestomans, they insist on going tier 3, yeah, I mean, this is a race they'll definitely win, because it's just a tier 2 that Empire is beating down. At least going to get a response, though, and maybe your response they're not going to be happy with. Venture Spirit going to be open, there's a Global Silence. Curse coming out, Mirana, coming in pretty late finally, going to be unsilenced, now can do plenty. Sand King, he'll go down. Silencer, he'll too go down. So, we're going to get a couple of picks. Both on supports, though. In the end, as Vengeful makes his way out of there. But ultimately, a great hold from Empire. And they got the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, now Global Silence is down as well. And so, if Empire want to push this advantage into converting into a tier 3, that's a possibility. They're probably going to wait for the next Roche, though, which is actually up. So, they can actually just go straight for Roche now.
Sven, by the way, Chrysalis finished.
Oh, yeah, and he's dealing some fat 1k crits to this Roche.
And he gets the 25% lifesteal talent.
The last hero.
It's,
Can he do it?
you feel like it's coming, right? The steal.
Don't do it. Yeah, I don't think it was worth it.
Not gonna happen. She's on.
They're
Sven.
still in this game. I think you only go for those plays if you think you're out of the game, and they're still in this game.
That's fair, yeah. It's a 5,000 net worth lead for Empire, but yeah, definitely something you can come back from if you're Brestomans here. Puck, he's gonna once again try to keep them distracted, if anything.
Yoku's gonna try to carapace into this. Yep.
Beautiful.
Now what?
Winning rip.
Radiant's
Trying to get out.
top tower
Okay.
has
Oh.
He's slippery.
Yeah, he's gone.
It's good. All right, so well played on both sides there. It's out though. Bottom lane,
Bottom lane.
He's dead. That's a gem, good sir.
Radiant's
That
top
storm doesn't
tower
work too
Gem
well
and
against
Necrobook
that.
3. You got double true sight.
That's true. He's got it all, just in case. Yeah, and actually Beastmaster's the one that ends up with the cheese, by the way. Sven doesn't even need anything. He's like, I'm good to go. Items are taking care of myself here. Morana got the Aegis
Yeah, I guess
again.
with Ghostix Shadowblade, he's going in fairly deeps to get these roar initiations, so it's worth it. And he's critical for these initiations as well, because Sven, yeah, he has a Blink Dagger, but it needs to be secondary follow-up. I mean, Ghostix this man is possessed. He's got the rest of his team coming in. PO65, he doesn't have roar for 25 seconds, but PO65 he's dead.
That's a kill. Obviously they see him right here. Once again, the gem. And no proper roar. Really doesn't matter. He's trying to swap. Puck trying to stay close enough, but they just locked him down a little bit too much. The global silence not able to save. And now last hero.
Last hero.
He's getting a little too cocky. It's been happening quite a bit.
Nope.
Nope,
It's
he's-
all good.
Space created.
Oh man, the TP'd to the shrine. Ghostic wants this.
He has a roar. Yep, there you go.
Let's go.
Ice Blast is just out of range, I believe. Is it going to be enough?
Oh,
man.
the Centaur doesn't connect.
Blink
Silence?
and one. He can't use it,
No.
though. He didn't have the blink back up, yeah. All right, the chase is successful. And now Sven, he's getting kills
Mid-lane.
elsewhere. Sand King's dead. That's a 500 crit just about. Puck is like, I got to buy back. This is a last stand, it almost feels like, of sorts. For Brestomans. Empire really just getting the momentum now. God Strength active for this. They're going to push in tier 3 here.
Oh, or kill the puck. Dieback.
That's a dieback.
Last hero. No.
Our savior's gone. This is where you GG out. Last hero's dead.
It's getting
Point.
close to that point.
Yeah. I mean, last hero's dead. It's like, might as well give up. No, it's more than just a one-man team here. Obviously, yeah, this just started to really snowball. These last, like,
Yeah,
10
after
minutes.
those two cores died randomly, DK and the Vengeful Spirit getting caught out, that was... I mean, it's not really like a nail in a coffin, but that was the turning point for Empire. Like, both teams were kind of, you know, neck and neck, but as soon as both of those heroes went down, then all of a sudden you were getting very scattered as Brestomans, and you were kind of like not going, like, we didn't see a single team fight. After both those heroes go down, every single global silence was used defensively as opposed to offensively, and so that is the kind of like inexperience that I was expecting to see from game one, which is like, how do you recover after both of your cores get kind of misplaced? But in game one, they played well. Game two, Empire had, I mean, they were bullying last hero, so maybe that's part of their strategy this time, but they come out on top this time, and now it's 1-1.
Single elimination. Going to come down to one final game here between these two teams to move on here to what would be the semifinals in this tournament, the CIS qualifiers, that is, for the StarLadder I-League Invitational season number 4. So we'll find out what happens next. Game number 3. Breaky CPK, joined by Tsunami once again. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back.